Today's bingo topics, we're going to do a little post-game reflection coming out of the Patriots game. That was week 1. It's over. It's done with. We got the win. It was ugly. But hey, sometimes it's got to be like that. And I love what Philly 500 and numerous others said, like Top Billin, Philly Fan 21, Thomas Mott Show, Philly Special, and Lord Brinson, and so on and so forth, including Joey Shakes 72. Winning ugly builds character, and we're not gonna have, we're not gonna be able to blow everybody out. We're gonna need to scrape out these tough wins with some of these victories. And it was topsy-turvy world with the offense having to be carried by the most part by the defense, who also wasn't perfect. But what's up? It's your boy Cintron. Come back at you with another analysis video that, kid you not, that's my real name. And today, like I said, we're getting into a myriad of issues. Bingo. Let's see what number comes out, and then analyze it, go over it. First up, looking at the inactives from the Eagles game with the Patriots, and wondering, some of these are, I would say chiefly among them being Rashad Penny, excuse my pronunciation, but he's a back that, in bad weather games you'd want to lean on, depend on. He's a guy that runs with short, choppy steps, so he runs under control, but he's still built a head of steam pretty fast, and it's pretty explosive. But this is a game that you would want to lean on a guy like that, who has decent, more than decent ball security, instead of having your quarterback lead on a draw and fumble the ball. But I mean, just we want to have it back like that to close out games, especially tough games like this on the road. With bad weather, and like he played in a snow game that was he was pretty dominant in, and similar to LaShawn McCoy when he played in that snow game versus Detroit all those years ago. But why we didn't have him on the roster, and what could be the reasoning? Trying to save him for other games, or not show your full hand? Like, I don't know, but whatever conservative play that we're going with, I mean, let's throw that out, put all hands on deck, and to go out here and just, if it ends up being on film, let's just build off of that. Build wrinkles off of that. Have defenses try to counter off of that. Or try to counter attack off of that, and then we can counter attack their counter attack. So, I mean, we didn't even use DeAndre Swift right, and this guy was inactive. And I don't get the ideation of, Gainwell being the lead back. He should be a third down guy. Yes, I get he's been longer in the system, and we'll get to an issue later. Maybe what's at the heart of it. But no, this guy, I don't expect him to be worked in until he gets the offense and he understands what's going on out there, and he can actually put up a decent block, an effort block at the very least. Fred Johnson played in place of him, or I should say, was on the active roster in place of him. That is what it is, but he's a rookie, and this guy, I mean, he's not a first-year player, I don't think, so we'll just have to see. But Moro Ojomo, didn't expect him coming off of injury, a concussion in the preseason, to be on the active roster. We'll see. They said here, Kentavious Street got the start, so we'll see how that ends up going. Mario Goodrich, I don't think we don't have a backup slot. I think he's a slot. Whether he's ready or not, I don't know. But not having a guy like that, I don't know. For me, would be cause for consternation, because if Maddox goes out, who's filling that spot? Who's going in the slot? I don't know. And yeah, he's not ready yet, but he's talented. So let's move on to some hot topics. Is it time to start worrying? No, man. I covered this a little bit yesterday, but no. It is way too early to start worrying about what's going on, and should we do this? Should we do that? Should we adjust? Just saying just ridiculous stuff like Brian Johnson, doesn't belong in this league. He should be fired. I'm like, it's one freaking game, and yeah, I get it. He was the quarterback's coach last year, but still, he has to get used to calling plays. And like, none of the guys that he was calling plays for, in a vanilla preseason, were starters that were going to be on the field come September. And It's a chemistry issue from the top down, from the coaches down to the players. Yeah, we got to get in rhythm, and that's everybody. So when, if we still look this out of sorts after 4 or 5 games, okay, yeah, then it's definitely time to push a panic button and wonder what the fuck is going on. But now this is our preseason, pretty much. We're just getting our sea legs up under us. We're getting used to getting hit, and playing with guys next to us, and in real live action. Not these well-controlled environments, of camp practices and joint practices. So yeah, pause on the. All right, is Kenny Gainwell a fantasy starter, football starter? I don't concern him starter with fantasy football, but is he a starter running back? I don't think he is, at least not on this team and not in this system. This 3.85 carry, that wasn't inspiring. 4 catches for 20 or more yards. I mean, sure, but I'd rather. I mean, like someone pointed it out, it was like the Jawan Taylor tackle alignment. When he was lined back, people knew that it was a pass play, and when he was on the line, people knew that it was a run play. Same. When Gainwell was out there, we knew that it was a run play, and then when Swift was out there, we knew that it was a passing play. Like, you can't telegraph that hard. You want Swift. Swift, I think, is the better back. And plus, when he's in there, he can do both. He can run. You can pass block, run, or go out, to be a passing outlet, or stay in the backfield and run out the backfield. So the versatility goes up, and the unpredictability goes up as well. So you don't want to be where, defenses can tee off on you and based on, who's in the game. And Gainwell, he can catch, not to the degree that Swift can, but we didn't make use of that, so it made it very easy for the Patriots to know what was coming or have a good tell. So that's not good, and that doesn't assist us in being successful. So I expect them to rectify a lot of these things, and to look at some of the tape before we have to turn our attention to Minnesota, but mostly to clean up, like most people were saying, to clean up the issues that we were putting out there. But man, bad tape, you don't want to put that on film for teams to have a free access to our archives of plays and offensive strategy and philosophy. It's not a good look, man. But yeah, a win is a win. So for me, that trumps everything. Like, I don't care how ugly it is. Of course, like, okay, I'm capping because to some degree I do, of course, but those inside the building, they don't. And yeah, there are going to be some hollow silver lining victories even when we win, because if you get decimated with injuries, or if you your motivation is low coming out of a victory, or it's just, you won in spite of, instead of you were the factor behind us winning, that's going to cause, like I said, pause and cause for consternation. So we just got to work on those things. All right, we're going to cover a myriad of things here, hence the bingo topics. Brian Johnson had a miserable debut as a Philadelphia play caller. Covered this a little bit, but and Nick Davis was about top billing. I watched a video of his. He worked on an analysis of the tape, and it's not so much like he was saying, like the plays that we were calling that were were bad, but it's the execution. And how can you execute properly when you don't know the guy next to you? You don't know how how to play in sync. O-line is very key with that. Playing in a chain. It's a chain of 5 guys playing together. It's not individual. More so than other most other groupings on the field. There a lot. Your play is dependent on the guy next to you, because you combo blocks and so many things you do in sync that are built off of how the guy next to you is blocking, or how his assignment plays out, which may in turn switch with your assignment. There's interchangeable parts, in on plays as well. So, yeah, we didn't have the time to get that timing and rhythm down in real, as close to real live action as possible in the preseason. So, taking that off the field, just only going in practices where it's like, very regulated. Okay, you're going hard, and then, okay, you're changing out personnel groups. There's no time in a game for that. It's real live action. There's no time to readjust your jock strap, or or to take a break here and move on to field B, you are on the field where the field the action is taking place. So it's just different, and like I say, it's something you can't replicate in a practice setting. It has to be game action, and it's different. And these are the games that matter. These are the games that count. Like, yeah, as ugly as that win was yesterday, we still got a 1 in the dub column, and that's all that freaking matters coming away from that game. Right, let's get into this. So this was Brian Johnson's first game as an NFL play caller. He was the offensive coordinator at Florida. And honestly, it was a miserable debut after a long field goal drive to open the game and a touchdown on a short field after a turnover. The Eagles proceeded to net 2 yards on the next 5 drives. So, like I said, it was just like, they were allowing the rushers upfield, on the exterior of the tackles, certain plays. Jalen Hurts wasn't being patient enough to let the plays develop. And sometimes he didn't have the time. He had to shift and move back there. But he was missing guys that, last year he was just, he didn't look comfortable. He didn't look, like, not comfortable as like everything had to be perfect, but just the timing wasn't like this. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so those things have to be, I mean, if you're not in, playing on the field, you're not getting that rhythm in. So, like, yeah, it's something that, hopefully we'll see how it goes Thursday night, Friday for me, to see if that was just, a one-game thing, or like, if they progressively get better. But both teams are not going to do preparation time to prep fully for each other. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. All right, it was dreadful offense, boring, conservative, and most of the time it was hard to even understand what the Eagles were trying to do, how they were trying to attack. So, like I said, like, if you're not even sure, you don't, feel comfortable with being out there and you're not in a rhythm, how are you going to even be worried about mounting an attack? You're just worried about trying to get your bearings, and that's not offense. You're like playing a defensive player. The offense looked slow and unimaginative. Jalen Hurts was uncomfortable and out of sorts. The running attack seemed predictable, and the lauded offensive line looked average. So, yeah, all this preseason timing, and time together. Time invested, time well spent together. Hurts didn't complete a pass longer than 9 yards into the third quarter, and for the first time in his career as a starter, didn't complete a pass over 15 yards. Where was Dallas Goedert? He was targeted once. Where was DeAndre Swift? He didn't have any carries until the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's a shame. Where was the high-powered passing game? It generated just 154 net yards. Johnson was never able to get the offense into any sort of rhythm and take away 7 points on Darius Slay's pick 6. And the offense managed just 18 points, went 4 for 13 on third down, netted 251 yards, averaged under 4.1 yards per rushing attempt, and gave up 3 sacks. Johnson and the offense have the luxury of knowing there's a ton to fix, but still getting the win. But win or not, there's a ton to work on. Yeah, you definitely, I mean, that's, we were, I would say at least double maybe this, maybe 8 for 13 on third downs on average. You look at last year, and at least 300 yards, net total in most of the games. Yeah, that 4.0, cleared that easily in a lot of games, and I would say majority of the games, and just 18 points. I don't think we had an outing where we dipped under that too far. I mean, the only one I can think of is the Colts game at 17 points. So it's a 1-point victory over them at Indianapolis. But yeah, it was a small ball, befitting of Hurts doesn't even have a rocket of an arm, but he pushes the ball downfield. He challenges, and we didn't do that enough. I would say targeted, on the right guys. I mean, so like, yeah, we went with AJ, forced it in there, but how about getting Goddard? How about looking at Quez? I mean, pushing the issue. We let the Patriots dictate too much what we were going to do. We were reacting, and that's not where you want to be, especially as an offense. You want to set the tone. defense as well as you want to set the tone to what they can do. I mean, I say that we came out there and shut down their run and made them have to, pass, even though they took advantage of it then. But, we still made them shut down one element of their offense and made them have to do the other. But let's see here. So yeah, look at Patriots. Their credit. Like Bill Belichick had months on end to prepare for this defense. Offense, which is why they looked so good. They did it so well in shutting down the offense. That was a top 10 defense last year, and they looked like it. And they added impact rookies, Christian Gonzalez, who had a sack, and Keon White, who was bringing pressure. I think he was playing a D tackle. I don't know if he's a DN. Bill Belichick then had the entire offseason, to come with a creative game plan to slow down Hurts and the Eagles, and those were creative coverages. You definitely got to give it to him. One pass to Goddard, and it wasn't even close because, Hurts overthrew him. Goddard was wide open on some plays, but, Hurts didn't see him. But, like I said, live game action. Practices, he was hitting, things spot on. For most of the offseason, and kind of tailed off towards the tail end of the OTAs. But all these things are fixable, man. Because it's just like Joey said, I don't think it was regression, just rust. All right, let's see. Eagles' offense looks rusty to open the season. Yeah, perhaps it's simply the product of facing a good defense. They have much to prepare, and they got the guys that, they're not lacking the talent, especially with rushers on the outside with Josh Uche and Matthew Judon, sorry. But Philly's offense looked like a shell of what we saw last season. The Eagles can punch it in outside of a short TD, and then setting up the field goal. So which is still crucial. It's not like we were inept. We weren't Joe Burrow bad yesterday. Hurts rarely took deep shots, and with only one Eagles pass play going for more than 15 yards, 3.9 yards a carry. So we went over a lot of this. We didn't have a chunk plays. That play that AJ could have actually changed the complexion of the game and broken the game open. But with it being unsuccessful, we didn't really challenge, I don't think, thus after that, which was kind of sucked. Which would have made the Patriots defense back off and change at least some of their coverages. And let's look at, get a bird's eye view from one of the birds, Devonta Smith. I don't know what their game plan was. They did a great job of disguising their coverage. We never knew what they were doing, so I honestly can't tell you what they were doing. So it's not that we were unprepared. Someone shows you something you haven't seen yet. He's a young guy. He's a third-year veteran. What can you do? You're going off of previous knowledge and what you practiced up until now, and that's not going to help you in this situation. You're going to count on, the eyes upstairs and the guys on the sidelines who have the experience, the coaches, to get you through that. And, you got to relay that. You got to make adjustments, and especially halftime adjustments. We did make some, but still we're able to, completely solve that puzzle to that Bill Belichick puzzle. So, according to A.J. Brown, the Patriots were trusting the corners on the outside, but clogging up the middle with defenders passing off in matchup zones. So it's just, that was a beautiful element. I hope that we can actually borrow from that, and Sean Desai can, implement that, and at the very least, disguising before, post snap and pre snap, giving different looks. That's like the bare minimum, or I would say the basics that you want to be able to implement on defense and as a defense. So that they aren't just seeing the same picture and able to just solve the puzzle like that and have nothing complex thrown at them, nothing to give them pause, to make them reassess, give them doubt. You want to put doubt in the offense's mind. I think Belichick did a good job of just throwing lots of stuff at us, changed a lot of things up at the last minute, and it was tough. I don't think we were not prepared, but I just think he was throwing so many curveballs. Yeah. So, that's what he does. The hood, the evil empire, as some might call him. But, yeah, man, it's not concerning, but, he's one of the great minds. And I, should have taken that into full consideration. Prep time, Batman with prep time. It's going to be harder to beat than, just on the spot, Johnny on the spot. So this was interesting. I thought Ellis rotated in, but yeah, we leaned heavily on the even front, so we looked pretty generic. 85% of the time running 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. So nickel formation, and we didn't do the big nickel. I didn't see Terrell. I mean, like, I'm sure it probably happened, but getting Terrell Edmonds in there more, and actually taking a linebacker off the field, and then maybe putting, also like maybe dime package, putting Avante in there as well. So you have the hitters, but as well you have the coverage guys. So stopping some of that, those things across the middle, because they were eating us alive over the middle, whether it was them targeting running backs on routes, tight ends coming into the area, or crossers with receivers. Yeah, man, that was a weakness, and should definitely has to be better. I watched Top Billing, and he exposed some things on film where Nakobe Dean runs to the wrong spot, leaving a gap in behind him. Miscommunication, guys taking the wrong spots, and Justin Evans being so deep. I'm just like, why are you that deep, bro? It's not that deep, bro. But yeah, man, like it's not that it's cause for concern. But yeah, these guys, Matthew Judon and Jawan Bentley, said we just knew our assignments. We're doing very well. I mean, so you can't execute a scheme like they did without, supreme cohesion. And the way they were passing things off, that it took a huge hit early. It was just, it was so well rehearsed. It was like a performance for them, and they passed with flying colors. I would give them an A on defense for what they did, being able to shut down this dynamic offense, the Eagles. So we just gotta adjust, and not all teams are gonna come out and run that game plan, but we'll see how. I mean, it is sort of a blueprint in being able to challenge at the very least, and then outwit at the very best. Best outcome for the defense, on defense against Jalen Hurts. All right, so let's get into some Nick Sirianni information. So he said, he's about the preseason. He said, he's going to reevaluate and actually will look into playing some of the guys next year. But that's, next year. That's 2024. We're still in the thick of it, 2023. So, yeah, I would say definitely, make sure the guys just are in rhythm. I don't know how much you play them, because I do want to err on the side of caution. I don't want the guys to play too much in the preseason and then, get hurt. But also, if you look at, it's funny, look at our injury report. The guys who didn't play are all injured. Reed Blankenship, Fletcher Cox. It was Reed Blankenship. I mean, not Reed Blankenship. What's his name? Gainwell. Several other guys I'm forgetting. Bradbury, he's out, but that was a concussion, but he didn't play as well. So I mean, almost everybody. I mean, everybody. There's 5 guys, not a pizza involved, but they are all hurt, and they all didn't see heavy preseason action, if at all. So that it's a give and take. You don't want to start too fast. So peaking too early definitely would hurt team. But that being said, just getting some kind of rhythm in, practicing, your dance moves just a little bit before you go off to the dance off, so to speak. But hopefully he can, get the right formula for that. But yeah, of course we have confidence in Jake Elliott, because he was just, I don't think we have any communication issues on our offense with the coordinator, but yeah, just him getting play calling experience in a live game. Can't be replicated. You need this live experience, and that just comes with the territory. Jalen Hurts, he said some interesting things about when is it the only thing that matters, and was it him being cavalier about, or just casual, like, oh, well, who cares, whatever? No. But that being said, like, that fumble that he had, that just can't be. I was like, slide. I just felt something about to happen. And boom. He got hit right on the ball. Perfect time hit by Jabril Peppers. And ball exploded out of there. And I'm just like, ah, man, I just bad moonrise. I saw it coming. But yeah, hopefully he'll learn from that and move forward. But Brian Johnson, let's see, there was something that Hurts said here. He said that he did a great job calling plays in his first game as O coordinator. And he said throughout training camp, they've been searching for their identity. So, yeah, we don't have an identity. No team, you have an idea of who you want to be, but until you go out there and get the concrete evidence that you can be that team, it's just an idea. It's just a possibility. It's just potential. And unrealized potential is a waste, even though it's still potential. At some point, the forgiving eye has to relent and be firm and stop wasting time. But yeah, he said that we're still navigating, which is something that happens when there are new guys and new roles. And yeah, O coordinator, like it's we don't have that same carryover from last year. And yeah, it might be a new guy, but he has new ideas. He has a different way of seeing things. He has different presentations and different plays he wants to highlight, different strengths he wants to highlight, different things he just wants to focus in on, and that's going to present a different picture for the offense as a whole, good and bad. It comes with an adjustment. And we need time for things to settle in. Concrete doesn't just dry immediately. It needs time to settle, to get hard, pause, and to become concrete, pun intended. But concrete needs time to become concrete and become concrete. And yeah, new roles. Even he's in a new role. We're targeting backs, more so this year. That's something new. So pause the brakes, pump the brakes on panicking, and let's just give it some time. And yeah, Friday for me, Thursday for you will be in another litmus test. All right, but yeah, here's the bad news. Nakobe Dean is going to miss several weeks, I think a month, with his foot in the boot. I don't know if it's a sprain or something like that, but not a positive development on a guy that we need to be out there and get that experience. It's another setback for him. So we'll see how it comes out, affects things. But we did sign a former first rounder, former Titans linebacker, and last year with Atlanta made a career high 159 tackles with two sacks, the forced fumble, and I think an interception. That being Rashawn Evans. He looks like a solid linebacker. I watched his his highlights. He was very good at coming up and filling the hole, and in space. He cut it wasn't just tight ends and running backs. It was like wide receivers. I saw him coming up and hit, being in good position. I don't know how fast he can come in and learn this defense, and then he's on the practice squad for now. But I think we're going to elevate Nicholas Morrow, so we have 3 active linebackers on the active game day roster, and then Terrell Evans, he can be the pseudo linebacker as well, coming down and playing in big nickel packages. But I'd love for him to get up to speed and see what he has, because I think he can bring stability to this team. He's 6'2", I think 232. Yeah, he hits, man, and he does get outpowered sometimes with tackle, but he puts himself in very good position to make these tackles and such. So anyways, we're gonna get up out of here with that, on that note. But I know that you're not even watching though, but it's all good because I love talking about the Eagles and love making these videos. But anyways, like I said, so as always, it's fly Eagles fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.